2, 3, 4. Shaz, what are we here to do today?
We are here to break down what may be the world's best police songs. They're definitely our favorite police songs.
Yeah, that prove that Mr. Gordon Sumner is a genius, aka Sting. Freaking genius. I was going through this stuff. I was like, is this now my favorite band? It might be.
And one of these bass lines might not be played by Sting.
What?
We're starting with Message in a Bottle, a classic.
Come on!
Look at how he plays that.
How come you're not banging the bass like he is, Shaz? This is my favorite moment. Yes. It's so cool. There's all this like just irreverence and rule breaking. I mean, like the slides, he's playing it with a pick. He's got an old, like, I believe it's like a late 70s Ibanez musician similar to this one. That bass that he was playing is totally the reason that I bought this bass. I loved his sound.
You're a Sting fan.
I'm a huge Sting fan. I am. I'm like a fanboy.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yes.
Sting in Don't Stand So Close to Me was 100% my first crush ever.
Well, I mean, maybe mine too. Tell me what's going on with this bass line, Sharon. What's going on?
First of all, it is on a fretless, the Ibanez, like you mentioned, and I swear to God it's with pick. Although on the video he's doing.
He's just. Can you imagine?
It was 100% played with a pick.
Yeah.
It sounds like a pick, right?
Totally. I think so. I think, in fact, most of the stuff is played with a pick.
I agree. So, verse, there's these cool slides.
Yeah. Those like double articulations and then the slide outs.
And it's not consistent either. He like sometimes slides it, sometimes he doesn't slide it.
Tuning for this band is so wiggly.
Swanky.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's cool.
My favorite part in this starts.
That is really cool.
And then.
Yes. That triplet rhythm.
If you want to learn how to play this bass line and all the other bass lines we're going to be teaching you today, make sure to download the workbook.
I feel like people forget that Sting played so much fretless in a rock band. And there just aren't very many examples of that out there. He's a singular voice on the fretless bass, and no one thinks of him that way. And I'm here to claim it. I'm here to plant the flag for Sting.
And he's singing it. Who sings and plays fretless?
Yeah.
That's like a death wish.
Sending out an SOS, now an
I love it. When's the cover dropping?
That's why I am not in the police.
That and age.
Oh, brutal.
You're too young.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn right. I'm really young.
Speaking of you being old, you might know the answer to this question.
Yeah?
Perfect segue.
Oh, my God.
Why did bands like the Police make music videos back in the day? I mean, now it makes sense because you upload it all to YouTube and it gives you a lot of like promotion. Where the hell did they show music videos back in the 70s, 80s? MTV?
Well, I'm trying to think. MTV started in the early 80s, I believe. So that is crazy, right? Like MTV starts in 1981, but they were making music videos before then, right?
This one is 79.
In so many of their videos, they're not taking themselves seriously. They're sort of almost like annoyed that they're making a music video. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, management told me we have to do this. I mean, again, right? Like, he's not playing upright on this tune, but in the video, just like goofing around. Look at him. Yeah. part right here. How it goes back to the original key. There's so many cool things about this bass line. I mean, I love the climb right up, just from the 4 all the way up to the 1 chord, and then this thing. And then that big slide, and then the chorus bass line is so cool.
It's such a party.
Yeah, all this space too. And then B flat, F, and then it climbs back up.
And then
A, and then gets back into the original key. Like that moment is just magical. Sorry for the terrible pun. You know, I know it looks like he's playing an upright on this, but I believe he was playing his Ibanez fretless, but he also played a P bass fretless, and sometimes he would double the P bass fretless with the upright. So sometimes there's 2 fretlesses, and sometimes he's doubling fretted with fretless. It's hard to tell. Doing the research for this, no one could agree. The electric upright, maybe that he's playing in this video, is a Van Zallinge that he named Brian. And he is playing that on Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, combined with a precision fretless. I believe I read that somewhere. And it's swimmy. The intonation is like really swimmy. Like if we played it together, Sharon, like G, A, B. You know what I mean? Like there's this sort of like swimminess to it. That vibe is just so bold. It's like, who does that? Nobody else did that.
It's pretty undecided what bass Sting plays where. Let us know whether we nailed it or whether we failed it. Next up, Invisible Sun, probably on a fretted bass? Not sure. Yeah.
I think so. I think he played a Steinberger on this record.
I'm wondering whether perhaps there's a little bit of synth bass in the verse. Check it out.
Yes, there's definitely like a synth with the bass.
I know.
Let's go. Yeah.
Their transitions from like verse to chorus, chorus to verse are so good.
That chromatic walk down. And yeah, for sure, I can hear the like zing, ging, 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 ging.
Did you watch the Olympics with Rowan Atkinson, where they did like the intro to Chariots of Fire and he's just holding down that's what it is.
Hey, if you never thought SBL would make a video about the police, hey, we're here for you. Like and subscribe so we can make more of this for you. I mean, and then this like insane unison line that Andy and Sting are playing together. Play that for us. Yes. I love how you play that. Like you don't articulate that. Is that a pull off for you?
I'm just sliding it. So it's funny because I learned it on the fretless first. And there, if you slide it, it's obviously...
Yes.
So I was doing... on fretless, but now that I don't have to do that, because I'm getting the articulation from just sliding over the fret, that's so much more comfortable and easier to play.
But when you played it on fretless, you were articulating all of it? Ah.
But it's slightly too big, the stretch over the 4 frets, so I would still do index finger and then...
Yep.
So that I'm not stretching the entire time.
Thank you, bass teacher. Okay, next up is Can't Stand Losing You off of Outlandos de Amor. How's my pronunciation, Chaz?
That was amazing.
Which means like Outlaws of Love. How sick is that title?
6 feet 10, I guess you'd call it cowardice, but I'm not prepared to go on.
I mean, like, just making fun of themselves. Like, look at the glasses. Also, he played this on a fretted P bass, I believe.
Rare occasion.
And again, just like another super cool part. Sting is playing here, fretted P bass, I believe, with rounds and playing a pick.
It's so driving. If you're like listening to the other stuff, it's just
yeah.
Cha, cha, cha. and then the bass is like...
Yep, is the thing that's like pushing. Yeah. And it's a great part. And he like, I don't know if he played it like the way he's doing it in the video, but if he did, he's all like third finger, first finger, like this kind of thing. Which would make sense. Like I wouldn't play it that way. I would probably play... But Sting has this like particular way of playing. But if you want to do the fingering that he does, but maybe do it with fingers 1 to 4, which is what I would recommend.
The next song needs no introduction, and yet here we are, walking on the moon.
Hey, what's the record?
Regatta de Blanc.
Do you know what that means?
Something of white?
It means white reggae. Listen. I looked it up on the internet. The internet is never wrong, and it means white reggae. And I think that's funny because they're poking fun at themselves like they do in all the music videos. Play it, Shaz! Like in the verses, it's fretted and fretless together. You hear that sort of tuning discrepancy.
Definitely being doubled.
There's guitar and bass together.
Oh, you even hear the picking discrepancy, like how it's like slightly late.
Yes. It's like this wide tuning. Can we go to all the gigs together, please?
Oh my God, I would love that.
Okay. Thanks. Next up, off of Ghost in the Machine, Spirits in the Material World, where Sting played a Steinberger. Now, it's killing me that I don't have a Steinberger, but I think I have the next best thing. Oh, the Kubicki makes an appearance, dude! Yes! This song is just outrageous in its attack on the bass, and it sounds like a Steinberger to me, and we'll get something going with this as well, but check this bass line out. At the time of filming this video, I didn't have a Steinberger, but check it out. I actually have one now, and I don't know, I was probably under some sort of like bass bigotry logic, where I was like, all headless basses must sound the same. Look, the Steinberger and the Kubicki sound nothing alike, so just know that when I say it upcoming in the video, I'm cringing with you. It's so like tight and punchy.
Do you hear that moment where they stab the saxophonist as he's about to start? And that's it. He never joins. They're like, just axe him before he even gets into the song.
It's all that palm muted pick thing. If I slowed it down, I'm going down, and then that second C is up. And to me, it's so cool. It's like the quintessential bass sound of the 80s, like punchy, bright. I mean, even if you add just a touch of chorus on it.
Yeah.
You know?
So what to you makes the Kubicki the next best thing?
It just, to me, sounds kind of like that active, scooped 80s thing. It also tunes at the bridge. I guess I'd be lying. Yeah, like it has a headstock, but it's essentially like a headless design, right? It has this like D-tuner thing so you can drop it to D. But really, because it's this headless design, to me, it sort of sounds like a Steinberger. That sort of bright, almost kind of metallic attack. And it's just like, wouldn't sound the same on Sting's Fender.
Next up, Demolition Man, not Sting on bass.
What?
On the album.
You're blowing my mind! That's not true!
Yes! I got something to blow Ian's mind. His tech, Danny Quattrocchi, if I might be butchering that, is playing P bass on this track.
No frickin' way.
According to the internet.
I can't believe that Sting didn't play it.
I know, right? I don't think it's picked. I might be wrong. It's so much easier for me to play this specific line without a pick, but maybe.
Yeah.
I suppose you could do 2 open A's, or you could do... But for me, it's easier to just do open.
Because it gives you that nice
Exactly.
transition point. What was the guy's name again?
Danny Quattrochi.
Good job, Danny. That's one of Sting's best bass lines.
Is it, though?
Next up is Sting, again on a fretless, playing wrapped around your finger. A nice simple bass line in A, but then with some fancy harmonics sprinkled in.
Ooh.
And the harmonic rings over. Do you hear that?
Bass?
Yeah.
You consider me the young apprentice.
I mean, he starts iterating on it, right? But it's this thing.
Ooh, that harmonic.
Then he'll sometimes play like... I just love it. This spot on the bass is so rich with these harmonics, right? In the very beginning of the tune, you hear him like let go of the E, and then that harmonic kind of rings because he hasn't muted the string. And I like to think that he did this kind of thing, like heard it and then responded, you know?
Oh, very nice.
This is synchronicity, right? The last two records were Ghost in the Machine and Synchronicity. They bailed on the crazy names that they had in the first three records. And it was kind of this like move to get more pop, a little bit more mainstream. And then after this record, broke up.
All right, next, da-da-da-da, lyrical masterpiece. Definitely some doubling of fretless happening here. Also, iconic bass line.
That's a great bass line. Look at this though. Is that it?
He is playing a Hamer 8-string fretless on the video.
No, it doesn't exist. I would know about it, dude. 8-string fretless? No.
It's a fret.
can't
Look
be.
at that. That's a fretless.
Is it?
That's a fretless.
Alex, a fretless. He's not actually playing this thing on the record.
That's an iconic bass line in itself.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's actually a way cooler part.
Don't think I'm coming. Words are hard.
Oh, yes.
And there, in that very moment, a second bass comes in, going.
Oh. Yes. Like, it sounds like a key bass, right? Like a low keyboard thing happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it sounds fretless as well, though. That slide in.
Oh.
The only chicks I've left unsigned.
It might be
I have a
fretless.
feeling it might be a fretless, because it's like.
Oh. Yes.
And
Oh,
also,
man.
before I get ahead of myself,
Yeah.
this part.
And he could have just played ba 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 ba, but it's like short notes. When you do that phrasing, Sharon, how do you get the notes to be that short?
So what I'm doing is I'm using my left hand and I'm muting with my front couple of fingers. I don't know how many, it kind of depends on the moment. And I'm just slightly laying them on the string to help get kind of a muted sound instead of going, I suppose you could do,
Right.
but because of the fast line here, I kind of want more flexibility with my hands. So, and then I only switch to this
Ooh.
in the very last moment. And I just play it super staccato.
Did we pick the right songs? In the comments below, let us know if we absolutely missed out your favorite Police tune. We're taking it all the way back to the beginning with Roxanne, except I'm taking it from the Synchronicity tour, which made every bass player in the 80s want an NS2. Listen to that sound.
Roxanne,
Those slides.
have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Oh my God. Listen, I saw this and it caused me to stumble. I was like, whoa, Sting, you are a hunk of burning love. Also, I fell in love with Spectre, like an NS2 with chorus on it, which is what's going on here. He's got this line that's just descending from G. G minor.
That sound. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that like metallic clang, this is honestly one of my favorite bass sounds that he's ever had. And you know, the whole thing is based on and two. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 1 and 2. It's an incredible bass line, an incredible sound, and he must have been going through an incredible amount of pain to write this song about Roxanne.
It's probably the king of pain.
There's a black hat caught in a high tree top. There's a flagpole rack and the wind won't stop. I stood here before a sun pouring rain. The water in circles running round my brain. I guess I'm always hoping that you end this way. It's my destiny to be the king of pain.
Oh, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.